Hi! So this week I wanted to talk about labels. And the labels we put on ourselves and the labels we put on other people and why we use labels. And what led me to ask myself this question was with regards to this. Somebody said to me, so what is it? What would you call it? And I said, well, it's conversations about life, and it's me sharing my journey and insights and things that I have come to realize in the hope that it will be helpful to other people. And this person said to me, yeah, but what is it? Is it a vlog? Is it and they listed a few things. And I asked myself that question, what is Magic Lulu? What is the label that I can put on it? And the answer to that question is that it has no label. I'm not ready to give it a label because it still feels like it's evolving. It still feels like it's growing, and it feels like it needs to be its own thing. And in this whole thinking about labels, it really made me ask myself, what labels do I put on myself and what labels do I put on other people? There's a certain security in labels because you can define something. You can say, okay, this is what it is. But what do we do with those things in life that we can't quite define, that we just feel? The world doesn't really seem to be satisfied with, well, I don't know what it is, but I feel it, so it must be real. That doesn't seem to be a good enough explanation for society at large. One of the labels that I was given as a young child was the label of she's a big girl. And big girl was really just a euphemism for she's a chubby chops. She's a little fatty boomsticks. That was a really damaging label. And I remember hearing that, and I remember people who said that. And they didn't necessarily mean it in an unkind way, but it didn't feel good. It felt shameful. It felt diminishing. And I've had to work very hard throughout my life to get rid of that label of the big girl. And the place that I really needed to get rid of that label and erase that label was not in my body. My body almost had nothing to do with it. It was in my mind. I so believed, without being conscious of it, I so believed that label. I so believed that big girl label, that I felt like her and I lived like her and I became like her. But it wasn't mine to own. Yes, maybe I was a little bit chubby, but being labelled as that was not helpful to me. And I'm sure there are labels that people have given you that without consciously realizing it, you own and you live and breathe and call yourself that label. And I just think it's time to examine those labels and to really look at if they're helpful to us or not. The big girl label has taken me many years to come to terms with and to reject and to say that's not who I am and to let go of that belief. Ask yourself, what are the labels that you put on yourself, and are those labels really helpful to you? What labels would you like to give yourself? And maybe some of those labels could be extraordinary, magnificent, awe-inspiring, talented, creative, compassionate, kind. Doesn't it sound like I'm too big for my boots? Like, how can I say that about myself? I can say that about other people. Can I really say it about myself? So those are the kinds of labels that I'm trying to own, that I'm trying to give myself and feel comfortable with owning. I would like to get to a place where I can give myself the label of exceptional, remarkable, extraordinary, talented, and feel comfortable with that and feel like I can really own that, and I can put my shoulders back and hold my chin up high and say, yeah, I am those things. So I wanted you to think about that. Look at the labels. What do you call yourself? Is that loving to me? Do they bring you down or do they lift you up? What are the labels that you put on yourself, and do they put you in a straitjacket, or are they labels that set you free? Because I think ultimately the labels we give ourselves ourselves are the labels the world will give us. So if we give ourselves the label of unremarkable, and we own that, and we live that, that's the way the world is going to experience us, and that's how people around us are going to experience us. And it's hard. It's hard to look into the camera and say, I want to own the label remarkable. But I do, and I need to be okay with that. And so would you be okay with that? Would you be okay with giving yourself that label? And could you really live it and own it and be it and feel it? Because it's one thing to say, I am remarkable, but it's an entirely different thing to be remarkable and to live your life in a way that demonstrates that you're remarkable. And let's just explore together.